Welcome back to the channel, my friends. Warhammer Man Studios. I'm Warhammer Man, and today we're taking a look at this week's pre-orders, and they are live. This video is sponsored by CMO Games. More on that later. Alright, so right off the bat, I've been in line waiting for this and was very, very disappointed to see that Games Workshop did not implement the queue system. I was literally waiting at 5 minutes still, got this thing in my cart, went to check out, and of course it failed, it crashed, Games Workshop's website froze up, and then like 5 minutes later, of course, it is no longer available in stock. So at this point in time, I can't help but think that Games Workshop honestly doesn't care who they sell all these books to as long as they sell them. Because there's no reason that they shouldn't have had the queue in place when they know that these things have consistently sold out in seconds. And a lot of their like actual customers, fans, dedicated people want to get a hold of them but can't. And then of course they're online scalped before they're even available in the United States for like 3, 4, 5 times the price even. We can see a lot of them listed currently for like $400 to $500 a piece. So even if Games Workshop isn't directly complicit in like the scalping of their limited edition items, the fact that they do nothing about it, the fact that they know one of their fastest items is going to be sold out in seconds and they don't even bother to implement the queue system shows me that they're either complicit or they just don't care. But that being said, it is what it is. That's the second time now I've been in line, been waiting, and missed out on the End in the Death limited edition books. Very unfortunate. If you were able to get one, congratulations. But there we have our made-to-order items as well. So we see Brother Captain Stern for $33.50. Then we have the Ruin Priest in Terminator armor for $33.50. We have Lucas the Trickster for $33.50. And then next we see the Space Wolves Grey Hunter with Wolf Standard for $32. We see Watch Captain Artemis, and this is still in plastic, the only of these models in plastic, for $33.50. I believe also he's the only current model in the range that still has a character without a new model. Then we have the Servitors with Multi-Melta, $25 for them. And scrolling down here just a little further, we see the Servitors with a Plasma Cannon, the Warrior Acolyte, both those $25 each. And then we see the Necromunda Aranthian Succession Ruins of Jardlan hardback book for $50, and that's going to have the new rules in there. And some of those new rules are going to be for the Saar Ash Waste Arachni-rig. So $50, you do get 2 of those. Very cool new models. And then we see these are probably going to sell out pretty quickly. I would imagine specifically the Vehicle Gang Tactics cards. But we have the Saar Gang Tactics cards for $20, and then the Saar Vehicle Gang Tactics cards also for $20 as well. And then we see the Underhive Graffiti transfer sheet. So I think this Graffiti transfer sheet is super cool. I actually really like this, but this is insane. $35 for the Graffiti transfer sheet. So every other transfer sheet is included for free with your models. And if you're like me, you have massive stacks of them. But for some reason, the specific transfer sheet that you might actually want, $35 individually. At this point in time, I can't help but think Games Workshop is just getting out of control. I mean, they're insane prices from them, and then the insane scalper prices, and them doing absolutely nothing about it. I honestly feel like they just don't even care who they're selling to or at what price, as long as they're just selling everything for the best price they can. So End in the Death Volume 2 obviously sold out in seconds. End in the Death Volume 2, the hardback version, will likely sell out pretty quickly as well. Usually once the limited edition books are gone, these will sell out quickly and they'll sell for typically about like double price, scalped online shortly afterwards. So I do expect these for like $70 to $100 for the people that couldn't get the limited edition book but still want to read it. And then we see the Word Bearers Omnibus, $21. We're getting into some of last week's stuff. Angron Red Angel paperback, $17.99. And then Once a Killer paperback, $17.99. Then next we have the Forge of Marge paperback for $25. And then we have the Ancestors Wrath new model. I did go ahead and pre-order one of these. Very cool new Einherjar champion for the Votann. And then we do see also that these are showing up now. So these were the Underworlds warbands, and now they're basically just available as the models themselves. They don't include all the Underworld stuff. They're available only order from Games Workshop, and they are $40 a piece for them. So they were $42 when they were Underworlds warbands with all the cards and all the extra stuff, and then when they come back as just the models, they are $40. So we do see Xandri's Truth Seekers, Black Powder's Buccaneers, the Shadeborn, some of my favorite models right here, Gorechosen of Dram, the Exiled Dead, and these are some of the worst models Games Workshop has made recently. Just very, very subpar as far as their newer stuff goes. And then we see De Cunning Crew for $40. And then, of course, we have the Horus Heresy Exemplary Battles, Age of Darkness, Volume 1, $50. kruleboyz Monster Killers for $60. Vulcan Flameseekers for $60. Stormbolt Skirmish Case. I've heard like overall people are kind of excited about this, so I am interested to see if this actually does like revolutionize transporting like small amounts of minis. And a lot of people also had commented about foam and how they just haven't had the best experience with it. I've been using foam cases for a long time and also like magnetized miniatures, and they've always worked out quite well for me. I have on occasion had breakages, but never felt like it was excessive. So I'm interested to see how this actually works out. And then we see the Mark III Tactical Squad. Now a quick message from today's sponsor. CMO Games has been selling Games Workshop products online for over 20 years. They carry the full line of Games Workshop products, including Warhammer 40,000, Age of Sigmar, Necromunda, Blood Bowl, paint tools, and more. Almost all Games Workshop products are priced at 15% off MSRP. CMO Games takes pre-orders for most Games Workshop products released at their earliest date possible. 12:01 a.m. on Saturday, they go live. Most of these pre-order products are also priced at 15% off MSRP. CMO Games offer free shipping in the US 48 with an order of $50 or more. Their customer service is top-notch and they ship most orders within 24 hours. Visit CMOGames.com using the affiliate link in the description and let them know that you heard about CMO Games from Warhammer Man. Now, back to the video. And just our last few items left over from last week. The Deredeo Dreadnought Anvilus configuration, Lord of the Rings, Fellowship of the Ring, Balin's Tomb, Warhammer Underworlds Deathgorge, and then we see the Ravaged Land, Scales of Talaxis terrain set, and the Hunter and Hunted. And then we've got a couple more of the sold out books, Realmslayer, Legend, Doomseeker. We see the sold out Skaven Warband, Skittershanks Claw Pack. Very, very cool models right here. Not surprised to see they were out of stock quickly. Hexbane Hunters, again, very cool models. And then we see the Fall of Cadia, hardback sold out. Dark Coil Collection, limited edition sold out. And then, of course, the Warhammer Horus Heresy Legion Astartes Battle Group, $210. And that did sell out almost instantly as expected. So very cool. Lots of cool stuff on here. Lots of cool models coming back into the store outside of their Underworld Warband sets. But I gotta say that at this point in time, Games Workshop is either completely oblivious to what's going on, especially with these limited edition books. They just don't care at all because they're getting their money and that's all that matters to them. Or they're actually complicit in it, potentially even working with people, employees, ex-employees, friends, family, etc., to make sure that these end up in the right hands so that they can be scalped on the internet. And we've seen in the past on a couple of occasions where Games Workshop implemented the queue and it literally made no sense at all. Specifically did a video where I waited in line for the queue. The queue wait was like less than 2 minutes and then nothing ended up selling out even weeks later. As where it was very clear to me at that time that there was no need for the queue. And now here we are in a situation where I specifically said as soon as I saw this book was coming up that I really hope Games Workshop has the queue in place. And then of course they didn't have the queue and this was literally sold out in seconds. So I think that basically rules out that they're oblivious because obviously they know these things are selling out in seconds. So why didn't they have the queue in place? Does it cost them too much money? They do use a separate company that implements the queue and it just wasn't worth it to them. Do they just not care at all? Or are they just happy to sell these items, even if it's to the same like 20 people, instead of selling the limited amount of them, one per person or per household? I honestly don't know, but we've seen malicious behavior from Games Workshop in the past. I'm sure we're going to see more of it into the future. And I think when it really comes down to it, that Games Workshop just does not care. All they want is just to sell all of their limited edition items or all of their new release items. They don't care who they sell it to. They don't care if they turn around and scalp them for 2, 3, 5 times the price. They don't care if people are using bots to scalp them, to buy them, to gain an advantage. All they care about is just selling product. And honestly, it's getting very, very discouraging at this point in time. I've been in the hobby for over 30 years, been playing the games, collecting the stuff. I know what Games Workshop is all about. And honestly, it doesn't really surprise me at this point in time when they do stuff like this, but it just feels like blatant disrespect. I mean, there was very clearly one item that everybody wanted this week, very clearly has sold out extremely fast in the past, literally in seconds, and yet Games Workshop opted not to use the queue. Absolutely ridiculous. So I don't know if they're in on it. I don't know if they care, but I can't be the only one that is this salty because there's literally nothing more I can do but turn around and just buy this $80 book for like $400 or $500 if I want it. Very, very discouraging. So let me know if you were able to pick up the stuff you wanted this week, if you're after any of the limited edition stuff, or if you're picking up some of the made to orders. Always like to hear back from you guys in the comments. Special thanks to CMO Games for sponsoring the video. Check them out to save 15% on Games Workshop products. That's it for today. Warhammer Man Studios. I'm Warhammer Man, and I think Games Workshop is in on it. The fix is in, and I'm out of here.